There's no question there are fossils. The question is, what do they mean? It's his interpretation he wants to put on the fossils. And I want to put an interpretation on the fossils. But the fact is, there is no fossil record. They're just fossils, okay? It's evidence, this guy says evolution is a fact. The fossil record provides one of the strongest evidence that species evolved over time. This is silly. There is no, you don't look back in the fossil record. You look at bones in the dirt. And you put your interpretation on them. That's all you do. Okay? This textbook says fossils can contribute to our understanding of evolution. That's ludicrous. Darwin even said, if my theory be true about slow gradual changes, numberless intermediate varieties must surely have existed. To change from a rock to a human, there have to be lots of missing links. This guy said, since Darwin, many links have been found. I don't think so. David Rock said, in the years after Darwin, his advocates hoped to find predictable progressions. In general, these have not been found. Yet the optimism is die hard. It's pure fantasy. It's written in textbooks. Pure fantasy. What creationists are asking for is a simple evolutionary criteria that would support macroevolution in the fossil record. This would be at least 40 to 50 successive fossil species showing major generic change. Top origin doesn't list a fraction of that number, but it isn't an unrealistic number if fossils can be as old as the macroevolution is maintained. Berlinski said there are gaps in the fossil graveyard, places where there should be intermediate forms, but where there is nothing whatsoever, he said. No paleontologist writing in English, French, German, or German denies this is so. It's simply a fact. Darwin's theory and the fossil record are in conflict. According to Stephen Gould at Harvard, he said, as Darwin noted in Origin of Species, an abrupt emergence of arthropods in the fossil record during the Cambrian presents a problem for evolutionary biology. There are no obvious simpler or intermediate forms, either living or in the fossil record. We go all day. There are no transitions between any different kinds of animals. There's no transitions where the fish came from. The transition from spineless invertebrates to the first backbone fish is still shrouded in mystery. Where did all the birds come from? The true origin of birds is still up in the air. Paducci is one of the world's experts on birds. How about the whales? The evolutionary origin of whales remains controversial among zoologists. Flowering plants, we can talk about all the fossil. The fossil record, even if there were a date stamped on, even if they were billions of years old, still wouldn't prove any relationship. If I get buried right on top of a Hampshire, that doesn't prove he's my grandpa. So even if they are in order, which they're not, but he thinks they are, okay, even if they were in some kind of order, that still wouldn't prove an evolutionary relationship. Luther Sunderland asked nature evolutionists all over the world, where's the evidence for evolution? Yes, Colin Patterson, who's got access to the largest fossil collection on planet Earth, the British Museum of Natural History. He said, Dr. Patterson, I read your book about evolution. I noticed you didn't show any missing links. Why not? Where are the missing links? Here's Patterson's response. I fully agree with your comments on the lack of evolutionary transitions in my book. If I knew of any, fossil or living, I would certainly have included them. I will lay on the line there is not one such fossil. There are no missing links, folks. Whole chain is missing. The Gould said the absence of fossil evidence is an nagging problem for evolution. What there is, we've got a great theory, only has evidence. That's why it led Richard Gouldsmith 60 years ago to say, the first bird hatched a reptilian egg. We don't find missing links, so it must happen quickly. That's ludicrous. They tell these kids to think critically. The fossil record shows that organisms evolved through many small changes over time. That's a lie, by the way. Which theory best describes an organism's evolution? Gradualism or punctuated equilibrium? Explain. This is not learning to think critically. They're giving the kid two options. Which is it? Did evolution happen slowly or did evolution happen quickly? They do this in textbooks all over the place. According to the theory of gradualism, new species evolved slowly. According to punctuated equilibrium, new species evolved rapidly. Did it happen slowly like Darwin or quickly like Gould? They don't seem to be capable of thinking outside the box. It didn't happen. They give the kids two options. Did evolution happen slow or quick? Which one, kid? How about none of the above? This is not education. This is indoctrination. This is Soviet style. I debated Dr. Pigliucci from UT Knoxville. I said, Dr. Pigliucci studied evolution of plants for 10 years. He got $650,000 in grant money. He studied evolution of plants. What's the best evidence for evolution? He said, evolution of whales. Now, you're a biologist and anthropologist, probably 3 times tonight you refer to whales as evidence for evolution. You're outside your field. There is no evidence, and I'm telling you, there is no evidence in whales, he's referring to, he didn't want to mention the names, but I got stuff on, I'm sure, Amalocetus and Apocetus and the other basilosaurs, all of which, he even mentioned that came from a cow-like animal. You know how many changes after you go from a cow to a whale? Cows have their nose on the front of their head, okay? Whales have theirs on top. Don't you see a little prow moving into one place to the other? And how's he going to live in the meantime? And this is just dreaming. This is pure imagination. Now, I don't care if he wants to believe that, honestly. If he wants to think cows turn to whales, honestly, that doesn't bother me. It only bothers me that he wants to use our tax dollars to make the kids think that that's part of science. Is anybody else bothered by that in here tonight? Okay. Anyway, so I think Dr. Big he said one of the best evidence is evolution. Okay. He said the hippo is evidence of evolution because it's in the process of adapting to an aquatic way of life. He says the flying squirrel is evidence because it has half a wing. Why you all don't believe that? The textbook you look at tonight, used in this school, talks about the moose being evidence of evolution because it likes to live in the water. It's headed back to the water. It's going to be the whale someday. Some of the things he covered tonight, we've been talking about for days and days. I'm not going to get you all here. He mentioned that I bring up pseudo-facts and pseudo-science. Of course, I resent that. I try to be very careful with my facts. And if I do something, I want to be specific and not generic. If you think the evolution of whales is evidence of evolution, we can discuss whales tonight. Okay, I've got plenty of material on that. But I'm telling you, no fossil is going to count. Think about it. If you find a bone that looks kind of like a fox and it's got a whale, an ear bone that looks kind of like a whale's ear bone, is that proof that the fox evolved to a whale? Anybody with half a brain and a little bit of common sense could say, no, that's not true. He might choose to believe that, which would be part of his religion. That's fine. He can have that religion. But he shouldn't follow his pay for it. Took too long to see. Let's see. He mentioned the beneficial mutations as bacteria becoming resistant to antibiotics. You can ask anybody that studied this out thoroughly. When the bacteria become resistant to antibiotics, it's because there was a loss of information in the bacteria, not a gain. The bacteria lost information. I don't interrupt you when you speak. I don't interrupt you when you speak, okay? The bacteria lose information. It's like if you're handcuffing people and somebody doesn't have any arms, so you can't handcuff them. Well, that might be a benefit at that moment, but you can't handcuff them. But it's still a loss of information. The bacteria can't log on to the mechanism because they've lost information. There's plenty of stuff on this on the Answers to Genesis website. A whole big article about bacteria. It doesn't evolve. It loses information. When they dug up the guys that froze that were trying to find the Northwest Passage, they found out that some of them were already resistant to penicillin. Penicillin hadn't been developed yet. How do these guys already have this resistance to penicillin in their system? That's just evidence that it's not really an increasing information, it's a loss of information. He mentioned the Australian blowfly, a mutant blowfly would have some kind of benefit because of something changed in the environment. It's still a fly. Is that process, my question would be to Dr. Rivers, is the process you described of bacteria becoming resistant to drugs, or a blowfly with a mutation being able to survive in its environment, is that process sufficient in your mind to change from a rock to a human, or from an ape to a human, or from an amoeba to a human, or whatever process you want to use? The fact of the matter is, there's 8 or 9,000 kinds of creatures on this planet, basic kinds of animals, and to think that they all had a common ancestor. He talks about genetic, inbreeding with people, Noah's daughters and sons marrying each other. Talk about inbreeding. He thinks everything came from a rock. What is the genetic variety in a rock 4.6 billion years ago? Man, talk about inbreeding. Okay, go take questions.